like that. If you're new to this channel, we are building an arched cabin kit house. It is a steel house, it's prefabricated. We purchased it a couple of years ago. It's been sitting on our property for a year because it's taken us forever to get our stuff together and get our permits and get digging and all that. So where we're at now is we're putting in a post and pier foundation. We were going to do 3 trenches to put the posts in, but we ran into some granite on the first trench. So we had to move the whole thing over. And because we had to move the whole thing over, we just decided to build a really big pit and put our post and pier foundation in there, and then we're gonna backfill it. What Mike is doing now is he's gonna try and chip out some of that granite so we can get the forms for the footers in place where they need to be. Those black things are the forms for the footers. The sono tubes are in the white trailer back here. And then we have 4-inch square tubes that will go inside the sono tubes. Once we get all those forms set up, we have an inspector coming out. They will make sure that our forms are correct. Once we get the stamp of approval on the form setup, then we can have concrete come out, fill the sono tubes, and then our foundation's done. Once we backfill that, we can go ahead and put the house together on top of that foundation that we put down. So that is where we're at. It's kind of been pointed out that I don't explain enough quite what's going on. So I figured I would take the time out and go through and explain all the steps.
And another thing to watch when you're drilling is to keep the bit pretty well perpendicular to whatever you're drilling.
Okay.
Because like if you sat it at this angle, it'll have a tendency to walk across that face.
So keep it like this?
Lean it a little more over this way. Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, it doesn't have the brutality of an honest-to-God jackhammer, but it's what we've got.
I think we should keep a chunk of that in our house.
It was really pretty anyway.
That is really pretty.
I think as far as the rock, we're where we need to be.
Frick yeah! Way to go! So I've had a number of you ask me what these pieces here are. These are our forms for our footers, and this is what we've been putting in this week. And I think if we were to change anything, we would have had them design it with a basement or a crawl space. It was going to be way too much to have them re-engineer it. So we just decided to stick with the plan that we have. If you're planning on building an arch cabin, I would consider that, because you could put all your mechanicals in the basement or the crawl space, and I think you'd have more room for house, for like living space. have our first row of footers.
Very important job, ladies and gentlemen, holding the string.
I think it's pretty damn close.
I'm gonna be smart today. My bib overalls that I got have knee pad. They make me look like a minion, which I don't like, but they're super functional. They're expensive as hell, but they're a win.
If you're new to our channel, consider subscribing. We are just getting started on our build, and it's a little rough, but once we get going, it's gonna be pretty awesome.
All right, we have finished setting the footers. We probably have to put a little more dirt around them. Then we gotta put the blocks into the footers. We're gonna take a break for lunch.
So the low grade application, which would be to backfill the whole friggin' thing to grade.
Okay.
Shut up. Now the above grade, which is essentially what we've got going on with the stuff sitting on dirt, supposed to bang in 12-inch spikes at a 45-degree angle around the base to pin it down. And then we'd end up kind of backfilling to the top of the foot, the form,
Okay.
with the tube sticking up above that. And it's not supposed to exceed 5 feet. It'd be a lot of dollars in spikes. Because that would be probably the easier way.
Okay.
Dude, just to spike it down and throw some dirt around it. I'm curious what the inspector is going to want to see. He'll probably want to see the molds,
Spiked.
ready to pour,
Okay.
like ready to bring the pump truck in and do the thing. So I guess to do it right, we should look into 144 12-inch steel spikes. Oh, well, just for kicks. Let's see what the Home Despot gets for 12-inch spikes.
Dang.
Come on, where are some real nails? Ooh, 12-inch galvanized steel spike nails. 50-pound pack. How many are in 50 pounds, I wonder? About 65 bucks and change. Questions with most answers, of course. How many are in a 50-pound box? There are approximately 165 nails in a 50-pound box. So if that's the case, then
One box.
$65.74-ish. More golden.
Okay, so we need spikes. So I have to wait until payday. That is probably going to conclude this week's video again. Sucky.
Nice kitty.
Do you live in or are you visiting the Denver metro area? You should totally go visit the Dungeons and Donuts kiosk at the South Glen shopping area in Centennial. Go see Bob, my very dear friend, and tell him Allie sent you. His donuts are amazing, guys. Seriously, run down there.